Oh, we get a cat today. I haven't had a cat in a while. But you can't sit on me. No, you can't. I'm gonna drink coffee and you're gonna be annoyed. Sit right here. Sit next to me. Sit next to me. Move it here. There you go. Right there. Right there. Right there. Yeah, that'll be fine. Here we go with the show in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday. It's March 26th, 2021. My name is Jeremy. And this is my first cup of coffee. Pretty sure it's 26. Hey, Google, what's the date?
It is Friday, March 26th,
Yeah,
2021.
that's right. It's March 26th. Well, it's Friday, so that's cool. I hope you had a good Thursday. Hope you got stuff you're looking forward to today and for the weekend. I certainly do. And I'll tell you about some of it. So yesterday, did some work. Had 2 or 3 calls. Justin and I worked more on the magazine stuff and Marshall Journal stuff. We're bringing on some new writers. If you want to be a writer, reach out. Reach out to me, Jeremy at whistlekick.com. I'll get you in contact with Justin. We'll get you in there. It's a great project. If you're a martial artist and you are a writer, want to be a writer, have stuff that you want to present and promote, it's the best place to do it. It's free. It's completely free. Nobody's paid. It's a labor of love. Whistlekick funds it entirely. And you won't even see our name on it anymore. Right, Cat? This is how you know it's getting warmer, because the heat's not on, so the spot on the floor that she likes isn't warm, so she's coming over to sit with me. So after I did all that work, I started painting. Carpenter Fred came. He was working out in the warehouse, doing some stuff. Good morning, Casper. And I was outside and then inside painting. And I had sent him, because he had to get some stuff at the paint store, and I sent him with what I thought was more wall paint. And once we got a bunch of it, or I got a bunch of it put up, realized this is not wall paint. This was ceiling paint in the rest of the house. So it doesn't match. And so that left me with the dilemma of, am I going to leave it like this? Or am I going to repaint it, or am I going to repaint the rest? And I think I'm going to repaint the rest. I think I like this color better. I don't know. I'm going to finish up what I've got here, and then we'll put up the trim and I'll see what it looks like. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the difference. So you can see that's kind of it looks white. It looks white on camera, but it's brighter than that. There's a little bit of a yellow to it, whereas something that's white, I don't know. There's nothing white on a piece of paper. But here's the old color. Old color. New color. Old. New. That's a better example than new. There's shadow there. So the old color was a little bit more gray. It's not a bad color. It's just, I've had this color since, 2013. So, 7.5 years. I don't mind it changing. I don't mind brightening this place up a little bit. Stacy asked, am I still on the list to write still? You sure are. I don't believe we've taken off any logins. I haven't approved that. So if you lost your password, just do the password recovery and you should be able to submit something. Would love to see you. You know what I'd love to see you write about, Stacy? Your experience, what you and Laura are finding on TikTok. That would be amazing. If you could do something on that, I think a lot of people would enjoy reading that. So that's my suggestion. But you can write about whatever you want. And that's one of the cool things about Marshall Journal. MarshallJournal.com. You can write about whatever you want. The heat's coming back on. So after I painted until my hand hurt, and I honestly think, where was it? I think the way I was holding the paintbrush, I think I slightly bruised my middle finger. I would show you, but that would be rude. I I painted until like 4:15 from, I think I was painting for a solid like 4 or 5 hours. It was a lot of painting. And just because this color looks so much better with multiple coats. It doesn't go on well with one coat. And I was using a brush. Over there, I'm going to use a roller, and I'm going to do another coat behind there with rollers. And of course, when I get out to the other walls that don't have nearly as much stuff, I will use a roller. But after that, I relaxed. I was sore from the gym Wednesday, didn't go to the gym. I didn't leave my house, and I didn't mind. A year ago, if you had asked me, hey, Jeremy, how would you feel about not leaving your house for a whole day? I would probably not enjoy that. But I am finding much more enjoyment in my own space of late. And that's good because I have to start planting. I get to start planting seeds this weekend. There are some things that are going to take a while. Like peanuts. I think I mentioned earlier in the week, or last week, I ordered peanuts. I'm going to try growing peanuts. But I've got to get those things started. They're a 4 to 6 week start, and we don't have a terribly long growing season, so people are going to walk in my house for the next until, well, the first outside planting day is May 15th, so we've got 6 weeks. For at least 6 weeks, probably closer to 2 months, there will be plants on every flat surface in this place. Because garden. I like growing things. I don't like the transplanting. That's very annoying. I don't like doing that. That's going to take a while. But if you want to eat the food, you got to plant the plants. It's like anything else. You got to put in the work to reap the reward. You have to plant the effort to harvest the results. Oh, that was cheesy. Jeremy, don't ever do that again. Even the cat's judging me for that one. And so what's going on today? Today I'm going to work some more on whistlekickprograms.com. If you've been there, you haven't seen my work because it's not ready for me to flip over from what we have to what's coming. But it's really coming along. I like the work that's going in. I keep finding ways to make it better, and it's better. Contact page is in. Got a couple more pages to do, and we'll get there. We will get there. So once those are done, hopefully, knock on wood, people will buy them because they're really good programs, and I've put a lot of work into them. And the people that are doing them are seeing results. People that aren't doing them aren't seeing results, and that's the problem. People buy things and they expect that those things are going to change their lives. And really, at the end of the day, what moves the needle the most for any of us, for any of our goals? It's our effort. It's what we do. It's what you do with the knowledge that you're given or the opportunities that are presented to you. Nobody's going to do it for you. If they're going to do it for you, it's in their best interest. Think about that. Who gets rich on your retirement plan? It's not you. Who makes the money when you rent a house, when you're saving money renting a house? It's not you. In every circumstance where you don't have to pay attention to what's going on, to how the sausage is made, so to speak, somebody else is getting rich on that. So just remember, you've only got a certain amount of time in the day, so you've got to pick where that makes sense. And I think that your health and your happiness are two places you should never outsource. People are surprised to find I don't have health insurance. That's a choice. Could I? It's half a choice because it's really expensive. Could I do less of other things and whatnot? Yeah, I could absolutely do that. But I don't. Why? Because I spend that money on good food and exercise and treat myself well, and I don't need it. Are there things that could happen? Of course. And I'm not saying that you are doing it wrong if you do choose to do it differently. I'm just saying this is what works for me. All right. Now, yesterday, episode 491 dropped. Andrew and I did another Q&A, kind of a rapid-fire Q&A episode. I really like these. he brought me 5 topics that I had not prepped for, and I had 5 minutes to talk about each one. And 5 minutes may not seem rapid, but in my world, 5 minutes is rapid. 5 minutes is very fast for me. Oh, and if you're in the martial arts radio group, Andrew asked for more topics to throw at me. So if you're in that group, first off, if you're not in that group, you should be. It's a Facebook group, Whistlekick Martial Arts Radio, behind the scenes. Check that out. Join. It's exclusively for discussion of martial arts radio and occasionally other Whistlekick things, but the vast majority is Whistlekick podcast stuff. And so people were throwing some topics out, and we were hacking that. Excuse me, going at that. I tried to stay out of it, not pay attention, because they're supposed to be a surprise. And so what's going on this weekend? Planting, or rather, setting up seeds. I got to figure out how much is happening this weekend, because it's a constant process from here on out. Every weekend, it's planting more, planting more, planting more, planting more. The beds aren't ready. There's almost nothing I can do outside yet. Ground is still really hard. And it's going to cool off again this weekend. So I should be able to get out there and start making things happen next weekend. And there are more garden beds to plant. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to do. This place turned into a farm this weekend, or this year, basically. I had a thought. So talking with my friend the carpenter, he and his wife just put in an offer on a house that was accepted. And if you're following real estate and what's happened over the course of the pandemic, you know that home values in some places have skyrocketed. Values in places like San Francisco and LA and New York are moving down tremendously because people don't want to be there. But places like Vermont, yeah, people are buying homes at 15, 20, 25% above asking price, sight unseen. That's not happening as much anymore, but last year that was definitely happening. And they had to go, I think they had to go 7.5% over asking because they've put in a bunch of offers and they're always going for over asking price. People are overbidding. And his description of what he was buying, my home, now I don't know if I've told people this on the show. My house started its life as a single wide mobile home, a trailer. That part of the house over there, that half of the house is a trailer. Still has wheels. People think, oh, Jeremy, that sucks. You know what my taxes are? Almost nothing. My taxes are so low because of that fact. And then the people that built the house or bought the house, had the house before me, added on, and it's great, and I love it. But huge garage, attached garage, acre of land, 2 wells in a desirable, more or less desirable location. And I bought it for a song because you can't get a mortgage for it. I've contemplated, what would it look like if I sold this house right now? You know, there is a chance I could sell this thing to the right person and just be debt free but then where would I live? I love this place. I love this place. Where would Zusa go? All right. That's enough talking about just about everything but martial arts. So let's see what's here. Let's see what you all gave me to talk about. I want to thank everybody who watches, who leaves feedback. Apparently, when I discussed Francis Cordon, I pronounced his last name perfectly in his words. So, yay! I'm glad. Good guy. You guys should check him out. Follow what he's doing on YouTube. He's doing some cool things. All right. Oh, look at the spam coming in. Yay. Hooray for spam. All right. John responded to a couple things about Dolly Parton. I've never really been a fan of Dolly Parton's music, but I love her compassion for other people. She gives so much of herself. Yeah, totally. We had some great quotes from Dolly Parton yesterday. Stuff that if you didn't watch or listen, you might be surprised. I have a cousin that people would constantly remind of how she was a quote, dumb blonde growing up. As a result, she would act like people expected her to. The truth is, she was anything but dumb. She's now a speech pathologist. I hate how people would treat her because of a silly stereotype, and I hate that she let that dictate her attitude for many years. It would be nice if people would use that phenomenon of people conforming to others' expectations to build people up instead of limiting them to a faulty stereotype. Yes, John, completely agree. Completely agree. I think that is one of the biggest thing parents can do for their kids. There's a very fine line between expecting, academic greatness and demanding A's and just setting a good example and holding them to a higher standard. Was this the best you can do? No? Okay, we expect you to do the best you can do. And demonstrate that you do the best that you can do. The same thing applies in classes. If you've taught martial arts, you know that there are kids in the class or parents in the class, people in the class there, we'll just make it generic, that there are individuals in your martial arts classes who aren't as good as others, either for time or dedication or focus or physical, whatever the reason may. Do you treat them differently? If you treat them differently, they will act differently. Acknowledge that they're doing well. Acknowledge that everyone does well. But make sure they know that the expectation is nothing short of your best 100% of the time. And now, Frank throws us some jokes. Shout out to Frank. Thank you, Frank, for always keeping Fridays entertaining. The jokes for Funday Friday. Spring is here. Yes, it is. What type of bird should you never take to the bank? A robin. Which month can't make a decision? Maybe. What kind of garden does a baker have? A flower garden. What did the summer say to the spring? Help, I'm going to fall. When is it impossible to plant flowers? When you haven't bought any. Botany. Botany. Why did the farmer bury all his money? To make his soil rich. What kind of socks does a gardener wear? Garden hose. What do you call it when worms take over the world? Global warming. What falls but never gets hurt? The rain. Why is spring a great season to start a gardening business? Because it's when you can really rake in the money. Nice stuff, Frank. Thank you, my friend. All right. And now, what do we have? We've got, we have 4 quotes here from a woman, an actress that I know, at least her early work, incredibly well. Melissa McCarthy, one of the co-stars of Gilmore Girls, which, if you know me really, really well, you know that's my favorite show of all time. And for people who say, Jeremy, really? Come on. You've clearly never seen it. It is one of the most brilliant shows I've ever seen. The writing is phenomenal. I've probably seen it all the way through a dozen times. And I like early Melissa McCarthy. I like her on this show. I don't like what Hollywood turned her into, which was a goofy comedic lead. I don't think she does as well in that role. She is a wonderful supporting actor. I don't associate with people who blame the world for their problems. You are the problem. You are also the solution. Sounds like something I've said many times on this show. Couldn't agree more. People spend so much time and energy focusing on who did them wrong or how that didn't go their way or why it's not their fault. It doesn't change anything. No one is responsible for your life other than you. No one is responsible for what you have or what you don't have, what you want. We don't all get a fair shake. We're not all born with or given the same cards in the game. It sucks. Yeah, I kind of wish I had been born to a family with more money and had both parents around, and I was 6 foot tall and not picked on in school. I wouldn't be who I am today. Might have been an easier childhood. But I'm not going to spend any energy complaining about that. Doesn't, why? What's the point? On a day, probably daily, but on at least a weekly basis, I can probably point to somebody else who is doing something that is harming me. Why bother? If you belong in my life, I'll keep you there. If you don't, I won't. Right, Kat? Hollywood wants to make women so perfect. Perfect hair, perfect job, perfect manners. I know some of the most beautiful women, and they are so weird. That's what makes them funny and captivating. Yes. I think authenticity is incredibly attractive. Stacy says, glad to have made that cut. Absolutely. Authenticity is attractive, and what is weirdness to me, other than expressing yourself authentically in a way that society has collectively deemed to be abnormal? You know what's at, you know what? Here's a perfect example of where society gets it so completely wrong. If I was to, let's say you came over and we were having a beer around the fire pit, and I squatted down to sit, most people would think that was bizarre. Biomechanically, our bodies are designed to do that, number one. Number two, it promotes good knee, hip, back health. So why is it weird? It's weird because nobody ever does that. Nobody squats to sit. We have to sit on chairs. We've decided somehow that that's weird. I think it's weird to not do that. And if you take a look, there are so many things that we do that are, it's weird that we do them. They are counter to our own nature as human beings. That's weird. You can't hear it, but she is just very lightly purring. There she is. She's just there with a little bit of... a little uneven metronome. Even when someone gets to looking like she should be so proud of herself, instead, she's like, I could be another 3 pounds less. I could be a little taller and have bigger lips. I think there are two takeaways there. It is the... There's a paradox here. There's a contradiction between constant improvement and being happy with who you are. And you can do both. You can push for more and still be happy with where you're at. But it's a fine line. And the language that you use is very important. I go to the gym. I work out. I try to eat well. I have some goals around my physical body. But it doesn't mean I'm not unhappy. It doesn't mean I'm unhappy, there we go, with my physical body now. You could say the same thing about martial arts. Are you happy with what you know and what you can do? Hopefully the answer is yes. The progress that you've made, where you are in your training right now at this moment deserves some joy, some satisfaction, some self-respect for the effort, the time that you've put in. But it doesn't mean you should be content with remaining there. Don't be stagnant. You can be happy with where you are and still want to move forward to be happier, right? It should never be the goal that brings you the happiness. It should be the effort. Do you find joy in the work? Do you find, if you're only happy in your training when you earn a new rank or compete and win a medal, you're going to be miserable. But if you enjoy class, if you enjoy training, things are completely different. And I think it's a great perspective, a great anecdote to bring into the rest of your life. How do you make day to day fun and enjoyable? That helps you move closer to the milestones, whatever they may be. Would you marry someone that you didn't like to date? Would you renovate a house you hated living in? Would you drive a car that you only liked when it sat in the garage? There's so many clear analogies, and yet so many of us are content to only find joy in the milestones. Don't do that. And our last quote here for the day to send us into the weekend from Melissa McCarthy. Excuse me. Remember, if you've got questions, comments, feedback, drop it in the comment section below, and I'll respond to them on Monday. Remember, we do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time here on YouTube. But you can catch it later in podcast form. And if you want to support us, go to whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUP15. Grab yourself a mug, a shirt. There's a little bit of gear up there. Stacy says, if I never earn another belt, I would be fine. It's the people and the forms. Yes. I want my black belt, but in its own time. Yes. Absolutely. I think that is an absolutely wonderful perspective, Stacy. I'm certainly not shy, but I like playing it because I love those characters that are incredibly confident, but really still a mess. I mean, that is without a doubt her character from Gilmore Girls. If you've never seen the show, the first episode, the first episode is great after you've been through the series. But if you want my recommendation, last I knew it was on Netflix. Don't watch A Year in the Life. Make sure you watch the actual show, the 8-season show. And I want you to commit to 4 episodes. If you don't like it after 4 episodes, go ahead and stop. But if you like intelligent writing in TV, then you'll probably really enjoy it. If you don't, it's fine. There's very little action. There's no action in the show. It's entirely dialogue driven. But it's brilliant. I'm going to go work on that website some more and see if we can't get it ready for launch by maybe the end of the day. I don't know. I hope you have a fantastic day, a wonderful weekend. I hope you find things that bring you joy, make you happy. Hopefully you get some training in somewhere in there. Go kick something if need be. And I hope to see you back here on Monday. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out some of the other stuff that we do here at Whistlekick. There's plenty of content, lots of things going on here. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for all of your support. I'll see you on Monday. Take care, everyone. Peace.